Mercedes has provided an explanation of the damage that Lewis Hamilton had referred to in a radio message after the race had concluded at Monza. Do you want to find out what Hamilton was apologizing for? Then stay tuned. After having to start from the back of the grid due to an engine penalty, Lewis Hamilton worked his way up to 5th place by battling his way through the pack. At the Belgian Grand Prix, Lewis Hamilton used the last of his authorized new power units. However, he was involved in a collision with Alpine's Fernando Alonso on the first lap, which caused the engine to be damaged. With that PU being evaluated in the hope elements could be reintroduced back into the pool of 3, Mercedes was forced into fitting another new system at Monza. At the end of the 53-lap event, Hamilton expressed his regret for the damage he had caused during a team radio transmission. Although it was a solid recovery drive to P5 from the 7-time former F1 champion, who later spoke of battles in the pack being way more fun than starting at the front, he had joked about binge-watching the new Game of Thrones spin-off series on his iPad as he anticipated getting stuck in a DRS train. It was spotted though that at the end of the race, Hamilton had issued an apology to Mercedes over team radio for the damage he had done to the car. The question remained, what damage was the British driver referring to? After the race, the Briton disclosed that he had gone over some debris, which caused damage to a wheel fairing. However, the technical director for Mercedes, Mike Elliott, does not believe that this was the damage that Hamilton was referring to. Instead, he believes that Hamilton was referring to his collision with Fernando Alonso on the first lap of the Belgian Grand Prix, which ended the race for both drivers and resulted in a power unit replacement as well as a penalty at Monza. During Mercedes' post-Italian Grand Prix debriefing, Elliott was asked what Hamilton had meant when he apologized for the damages he had done to the car. Elliott's response was as follows: "I think Lewis was referring back to what had happened at Spa when he tangled with Alonso at the beginning of the race, taking himself out of the race but also in the process damaging his power unit. Some damage we are still trying to fix, which will allow us to bring it back later in the season, but the time it takes to fix that meant we had to run an older PU at the last race in Zandvoort, and at this race we had to bring a new PU into the pool. That new PU meant we had to take a penalty and Lewis started from the back of the grid. I think he had a fantastic drive to come from the back of the field all the way up to 5th with the car we've got. It was a fantastic effort from Lewis, and I think what Lewis was really apologizing for was the fact he knew if he had started where he had qualified, he could have had an even better race. It was just simply that. Lewis Hamilton was forced to withdraw from the Belgian Grand Prix after he and Fernando Alonso collided during the first lap of the race. After turning into the corner, Hamilton's rear right wheel went over the top of Alonso's front left wheel. This caused the collision, which launched all of Hamilton's car into the air except for the front left wheel. After landing on all 4 wheels again, Hamilton continued driving until he had to retire the car later in the lap. Alonso was able to continue racing. The hit was not easy for Hamilton as he was called to the circuit's medical center but initially refused to go. As a result, the race stewards issued Hamilton a formal warning for his refusal to go. It was reported that the force of the crash almost broke Hamilton's back. That will be all for today's video. Thanks for staying tuned. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so that you can always get to watch more amazing videos like this. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching Epic F1 News.